Welcome to Angelo's Tennis. And if you haven't already, check out my membership videos. If you're interested in some of those exclusive tennis videos, I'll have more to come. And it also supports me in making more of these videos, continuing to be in tennis, to travel to tennis tournaments, to film tennis, etc. But this video isn't about that. This video is about why I'm including myself, why we tennis players cannot play like this. So what is this? This is the consistency, the high intensity, the high consistency, the rhythm, the look, all this stuff that I just posted. I just put up on the screen there in that video. It was two college players hitting back and forth. Okay, they look very good. They're consistent. They have this ability to be intense, and the ball comes back. And the reason there's several reasons why we can't do this, and I'm gonna get into them in this video. So one of the reasons is, and this is gonna be the main reason, it's not us. It's because we don't have the right partner, the right tennis partner. And you got to really think about this. There might be some people watching this like, I can get tennis partners like this all the time, and that's fine. But for the vast majority of tennis players, you cannot find tennis partners that can do this. And in order to hit like that, in order to play like that, you have to have tennis partners. You have to have tennis partners that can do that. You might be able to do it, and they can't. They have to be able to do it too. They have to be able to do it in order for you to get to that point. Now, can you still play great tennis? Can you still play good tennis matches? Of course. But specifically in this video, what I'm referring to, these things must be in place, and you got to think about this. So let's say I'll use myself as an example. Okay, I want to go out and I want to find someone like this to get better, that I can hit with, that I take my advice, and I got to find someone like this. Well, they're in college, and if they're in college, let's say they're Division II or well, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. They're in college. They are busy. They're too busy for you. You might be able to hit with them. You might get to know them. You might hit with them over the summer. But if you take like a Division I college player and you just think about what they're doing, they have a full schedule. If you went to college and taken 5 classes in a semester, it's a lot. If you want to do well, if you want to get, I graduated my last 2 years of college. I graduated with almost a 4.0 because all I did was study. They weren't the hardest classes, but all I did was study, and I still needed to do that in order to get a 4.0. And I wasn't playing tennis. I was working part-time, so very similar. So it's like these tennis players, they don't have, if we're talking about college tennis players, they don't have time to even hit with you. So all them players that you potentially need to play with in order to get to this point, you don't have access to, even if you know them. And then I was just saying about Division I players, if they're playing futures in the summer, or they're practicing this summer, or they're training, etc., you don't even have access to even hit with them once. They're not going to give you, they can't give you they can't give you access to them. It's just not even possible. So there's that. And then you might even think, well, there's a lot of great juniors in my area that I could play with. Well, now you're talking about dealing with kids. We're talking about dealing with teenagers. And I mean, you could even consider the college players like that in that group too, for what I'm about to say. But take the age from 14 to 18. Who knows what these kids are going to be thinking? You know, they don't want to hit. They might not want to hit with you. And if you play better than them, they're definitely going to want to hit with you. And I got stories. You know, I've told some stories about playing with 16-year-olds and the experiences that I've had. Of course, it's not all of them, but just think of what they're going through. Same thing. They're in school. Oftentimes, they're high achievers. So they're studying. They're playing tennis tournaments. They're going to lessons. They don't even have time for you. And if you're making them feel bad, i.e. you're doing well against them or winning against them or making them miss, they definitely don't have time for you, because they don't have time to feel bad and struggle any more than they already are with that schedule that they have. So there's that. So you can pretty much knock out junior tennis. You can knock out college tennis. All these players you do not have access to. I should say, we do not have access to. Then there's your tennis pro. You could pay your tennis pro, but you know, you're talking about 3 times a week. You're going to pay your tennis pro $100 3 times a week. That's almost $1,000. It's over $1,000 a month. And not to mention, he or she doesn't want to hit with you. They're tired. They're probably on the court 30 to 50 hours a week. So there's that. So you can pretty much get rid of your tennis pro. What's left? What's left is the rare adult, okay, who's not quote unquote adulting and settling down with their 2 kids and their husband or wife and their 50-hour work week job. Basically, it's the same thing. Right down the line. They don't have time for you. They don't have time for you. Not to mention, do they even want to exert that much when they come out and play? Do they even want to exert that much energy? Can they even play with intensity after that schedule? So what I just laid out for you is that, I mean, this just shows you why YouTube and tennis coaches can sell so much BS and get away with it. Because what I just mentioned to you is necessary. I'm telling you that's necessary. One of those 3 individuals you need to find to play with. And I just showed you how none of those individuals are available. So how are you going to get, in reality, how are you going to get like those players? How do I improve my tennis game so that I can play like this college player, or so that I can play like this pro player? You can't. It's actually impossible. Sorry that I'm crushing your hope, but the reality is this: a smart person who takes this, you know, people like myself who don't give up, is going to maybe take this video and get a little bit crafty in how they're going to find these players. Or maybe they come up against these players, and when these players are, you know, cranky in the way that they are, you don't take too much offense to it. You have more understanding. Maybe you laugh about it. Maybe you confront them on their BS. I don't know. But this is a sad reality. And maybe you can do something with it. I don't know. I don't even know what you can do with it, really. It's just funny.